Hello, welcome back to Your Inspirational. I am where we get started in. And today I have with me Turiya Wilson. How you doing, girl?
Doing good.
I'm just so happy that you're here.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much.
How's things been going with you?
It's been going good. It's been kind of busy lately, of course. You know, my tax season has began, and so I am just kind of trying to juggle a couple of things right now.
Well, let's talk about that. So you're a tax assessor? Like, what is that?
No, I'm actually a tax professional.
Okay.
I'm an accountant by trade.
Okay.
I have a degree in accounting, and I started that probably doing accounting about 19 years ago.
Okay.
And I started doing taxes about 8 years ago. And so I just do tax preparation, light bookkeeping, pretty much that's all.
Yeah. So did you have to go to school, or like how did you get the idea of doing it, and then like, what's the process of getting a license or a certificate for it?
So I went to school for accounting. I went to Miles College, my alma mater, and I got my degree in accounting. And then after working in accounting for about 12 and a half years for a university here in the city, I started doing taxes part-time. And I liked it. I didn't think I would like it, but I actually liked it. Okay. And then eventually God kind of moved me into leaving the university. And once I quit, he started opening up doors and showing me my next path. I had no clue what I would be doing for the rest of my life, but he started kind of unraveling my path for me as I started to walk in it.
Okay, so the hours, like, let's talk about it. So are they very long, or so how do you manage, like, being married and having children and like trying to be a mother, a wife, and doing your job?
Ooh. The simple answer is the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
It's a lot. And so most of the time, I'm always thinking, how can I do this? How can I do this? How can I do this? And try to manage my time as well. I have a husband who has a very challenging job. I have 3 boys. I'm a business owner, and I just wear a lot of hats, but I try to have time just for work. Mm-hmm. I try to cut it off, because when I first started, I would answer the phones no matter what time, clients would call me, because I was trying to build my clientele. Yeah. But after a while, that became draining. Okay. And so I started getting cut off time. Mm-hmm. So if they call after a certain hour when I'm spending time with my family, that's it. Like, that's my cutoff time. And then Sundays in particular, I just said, you know what, I'm not going to work on Sundays. Okay. I'm going to go to church. I'm going to spend time with my family. And then, of course, in the evenings or early in the mornings, my husband is a morning person. And so, like, sometime early in the morning, we have that dialogue. We talk. We, just kind of spend time together. Okay. And then we talk multiple times throughout the day on the phone, because he calls a lot. I call him. Okay. So it's hard, but if it wasn't for the Holy Spirit, I don't think I would be able to do it.
I said you brought up husband, because I like to ask questions, like, when people have been married for a long time, like, how do you keep it going, and how do you keep love alive? Like, you're working and then he's working. How do you manage to do it?
Whew, again, Holy Spirit. We've been married for 13 years, and we have 3 boys. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, it was hard. Okay. It was hard trying to keep that communication piece going, because he would work sometimes overnight. Mm-hmm. And then I would be home in the day trying to get kids, ready for school, fed, come home, pick them up, go to daycare, pick them up from daycare. Sometimes my mom would step in, and she still steps in to this day, but she would help out making cook dinner for the week, or 2 or 3 days after the week. I would pick up dinner or go eat at her house, come home, get the kids. But thank God, in the past maybe 4 years, mm-hmm. he started working in office. So he's off the streets, and he works like as a detective. Now he's in internal affairs. So he's in the office most of the time, mm-hmm. and his hours are more regular, like 8 to 5. So he is extremely involved now. He takes the boys, he has them in football, basketball. He's very active. And so he kind of helps take some of the load off when I'm working during tax season. And then outside of tax season, I pick up the load. But we just have that good communication piece now. And then we always make time for each other, whether it be date night. Mm-hmm. We love to travel, so we'll take a weekend, or even if it's just to Georgia, just to have that closeness still, because it's easy to forget what brought you together when you have kids and work. And so thankfully we've been doing really good.
So would you say that having a husband in law enforcement, like your prayer life, is it more extensive than it used to be? Or like since he's in office now, is it less? Like what is it like?
No, it's still more. Of course, before he became, before we met, I had more time, I think, I guess, with God, and I kind of hate to say it like that, but it was just me. And so when I first met him and I realized the type of job that he, like the grit of it, as I talked to him, of course I began to wonder, is this the type of husband? I don't know if I can deal with this, but I started praying more and just covering him and praying over him. And whenever he would get in like situations where he had to make drop of the dime, like decisions, almost like life and death decisions, he would always come home and share it, and I would be like, God, thank you, you did that. So I would say my prayer life kind of changed. Some of my requests shifted after so many years of marriage, because now I'm just covering the whole police department as a whole, whereas before I was specifically praying for him because of the type of work he was doing. But now I kind of just cover the police department, God, let his job on, even the days he's on call, I'm praying that those days are easy. I'm always just asking God to lead him and guide him as he go up the ranks, because he's a minister. He does a lot, not just me, he wears a lot of hats as well. So I'm always just covering him. So I think my prayer shifted around year 10 of our marriage. It's still praying for him continuously in our family, but I guess my intensity on the covering kind of shifted as he moved into the office.
Okay. And so for women who are thinking about getting married, or the ones who are married and they're going through thinking, okay, I don't know if I want to remain in this, what could you give them encouraging words to help them stay in it, like if they're married to a law enforcement person?
Hold on, sister. Just hold on. I think during marriage, a lot of cliches that I would hear prior to marriage started really hitting. If you hold on, there's a sun after the tunnel, or like little things. There's a silver lining, or if you just hold on, God will see you through. Or
sun after the rain.
Sun after the rain. That's the one I was looking for. Sun after the rain. And when you're young, dealing with trials, that it still applies. But when you start maturing, and those same sayings start to hit home just a little bit longer, I would just advise any woman who's thinking about giving up. I think the one thing that kept me holding on was I knew that's who God wanted me with. And I would often tell myself, it's hard, but if you leave, you'll be outside of God's will, because I knew he was the person for me. So, even in our trying times and our hard times, I just would remind myself, this is who God has for you. Just stay there. Just stay the course. So I would just say, hold on, shift your prayers, start praying for you, because there were things I couldn't change, and I would say, okay, God, if it won't change, you can change me. Like, there's nothing for you. You can make me change. You can change me. And I think, by and by, I would see the changes even in me, and things that would bother me as, really quickly, don't really bother me as much anymore. So just hold on. Just stay in grace.
And as y'all are married, how is it, how do y'all keep it together where y'all work together as a team for family and jobs and everything, just being friends? How do you do that?
Somewhere along the way, again, I said maybe about year 10, 11, it just started happening. I guess it came with time and getting to know each other's wants, each other's needs. I think now that his schedule has changed, we're working together more, because where my job was very strenuous, but not as strenuous as his in the beginning, I would try to pick up more slack. And now it seems like now that he's moving toward an office job and my job is more strenuous, now I see him picking up slack.
Okay.
So
That's
I
good.
think we just keep it together by working
And
together,
understanding each other.
understanding
That's so good,
each
yeah.
other. So it just works. It
Okay.
works now.
And now let's switch the topic. Okay, so like you're just so beautiful. So how do you like the self-care and what do you do and how do you shop? Because I mean you really like to dress real nice. So just, what do you do? Tell us.
Believe it or not, I'm a minimalist.
Okay.
I am very thrifty.
Okay.
And literally thrifty. I stay at a thrift store, but not as much anymore. I don't really wear a lot of sequins and flash, and
Mm-hmm.
I just like nude colors and just something that would kind of complement my style.
Okay.
I don't really have a style. I just like modest. I
Okay.
like things that are covering, but cute,
Yeah.
But I shop a lot in the thrift store. As far as clothing, I don't really give my outfits any thought, honestly.
Okay.
As far as hair, I try to keep my hair done at least once a month
Okay.
because I do okay. I just wrap it and unwrap it. Skincare, I've been using the same cleanser since college, which is oh my god, Clean and Clear, the daily pore cleanser.
Okay.
I use that on my face every day. But for the most part, I don't really give my appearance a whole lot of thought.
Okay.
I get ready like 20 minutes. I pull out something to wear like
Yeah.
20 minutes before. I don't give it much thought. I'm just being honest, yeah.
And so the things that you do, like, for beauty, is it for you or more for your husband? A lot of people get it confused where they're trying to dress and make sure that this person is happy, but explain what you do.
I guess it just depends on what you mean by beauty because that can be objective. I don't know. For me, I just try to make sure I'm appropriate,
Okay.
wherever I go. Whether it be to the mailbox.
Mhm.
I don't want to walk to the mailbox looking a mess either. But I would say more so for me, but I always keep him in mind,
Okay.
right? Because there are times I wear something and I think it may be a little tight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go ask him, babe, what do you think? Is this too tight? Because I'm feeling like it might. And he'll say, no, it's fine. Or, yeah, I think you might want to.
Yeah.
Because I never want to draw attention to myself.
Yeah.
And that's just in every area of my life, unfortunately. And I'm saying unfortunately because most people feel, why are you backing down? Or why do you feel that? I've just never been one to want to draw attention to myself. So I just try to dress modesty. In modesty, I try to be, a little bit fashionable if I can, but, I don't know.
Okay. So a lot of people don't even know that you can sing. Let's talk about singing. So you've sung for people, you've sung for celebrities, and you've traveled. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would like to hear like a little selection of a song. Just let the people know that you sound like an angel. Like, let's hear it. Like, the blessing God gave you.
So let's be clear, I'm a background singer. I just like singing in the background.
But I've heard you sing solos and you sing.
I have done praise and worship, but background is my love. I like the parts. I just love melody. I love to hear everybody like come together as one. I just love background singing. I didn't know you were gonna put me on the spot for this.
I couldn't tell you that.
There's a song I've been listening to all morning, and it Jonathan McReynolds, "Make Room."
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the words are, I think, what ministers to me the most. But the song just says, "What I lack, you are full of. And where I'm broken, you are whole. And what I'm doubting, you are sure of. I'll trust the lover of my soul."
Oh my gosh, you can just feel it. I'm getting goosebumps over here. You can keep going if you want. How did you get your start with singing? Like, what age did you start?
Ooh, my parents probably started us all doing some. We grew up in the church, of course, and I would say maybe 5 years old.
Okay.
I remember singing for a Christmas program. I can't even remember the song now, but I sang, no, Easter.
Okay.
You know, instead of doing a speech, my mom was like, no, she's gonna sing. So I got up there and I remember her saying, if you sing really good, I give you $5.
Okay.
And so I got up there and I sung, you know, my little Christmas Easter song. And I can't remember if my brother played because my brother plays keyboard. And I sang around 5 or 6, and then eventually I joined the choir, the youth choir, and just kind of went from there. In college, I sang in the college choir, Miles College. And it just kind of started escalating. I began to do praise and worship for Lions Cross, then I moved over to Faith Church, and then here recently I started doing praise and worship to help out a friend of ours in Mount Canaan, and I only did that for a short period until they found someone. So I've been kind of taking, I don't want to say taking a break because I don't feel like I deserve a break per se, but when you have a family, and you've sang all your life. I'm 41, so I probably would say from 5 years old till about 38.
Okay.
I was always singing.
Okay.
And then when we moved and I switched churches, and I just said, you know what, I think I need more word right now. Because I've always been busy in church and I feel like I need words. So I kind of took this time to just soak, get my roots deeper in God. But now I feel like I'm getting to the place, I got to start using my gifts. So, yeah.
And so do you sing for hire, like if someone wanted you to come sing for a wedding or just, you know, a funeral or anything, would you be willing to do that?
Of course. I will sing for weddings if someone calls. I don't do a whole lot of weddings, but I used to.
Okay.
It's just that on Saturdays I'm mostly working. But yeah, if anyone calls and say, hey, I want you to sing for my wedding, I would definitely.
Okay. And how could they reach you if they wanted to?
They can contact me at 205-413-9987.
Okay. I don't want to interview. I want her to actually sing again, but I mean, we're going to try to go ahead and I'm going to talk to her a little bit, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I really enjoyed my time with Turiya Wilson today, and I really enjoyed her singing most of all. If you enjoyed her singing and you want to hire her for something, weddings, funerals, a play, her information will be in the description box below. Also, if you want your taxes done, she's doing taxes right now. I will put that information also in the description box. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the future videos coming your way. All right? Talk to you soon. Bye.